Hey y'all, I'm Abby, More Than Just Skin, and welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time here, welcome. Since the first of the year, I have really been focusing on not buying a lot of products and condensing down my collection. I have already done one declutter, and y'all, let's see if I can pick this bag up. Can you see it? And it's full. I have another one. I'm going to divide this up. I'm going to put the camera down. You don't need to see all this. I have my makeup on. I just did a get ready with me, but I still have on my pajamas. So I am going to focus down, organize my categories, and I'm going to tell you what I'm getting rid of and why. And I want to start by saying some of these products might be shocking to you because they've been favorites before, but I just find myself not reaching for them now, so they need to go. So if you're interested in seeing my declutter, hit that subscribe button, and here we go. Okay, y'all, we're gonna start with blush, and let's start with two cream blushes, and these are the two right here. This first one is Flower Bomb Pinched. The other one is a Stila Convertible color in Camellia. Now, I think the formula on both of these are great. My complaint is this type shade is not the color blush I should wear. A neutral blush like that just doesn't look good on me. So both of these have the same type of color, and I've actually used the Camellia one a good bit, and I just realized they just are not flattering on me. So I'm getting rid of both of these. Next is kind of on the other end of the spectrum. It is a LA Girl Just Blushing Blush in the shade Just Radiant. This is a little too intense of a blush for me. You can see it like right there. It's just, I have to have a very light hand when I use it, and I don't find myself reaching for it. Another one that is absolutely a cult favorite, this is Tarte Exposed. Mine is just dried out. I mean, it just is too, I have to like dig my finger in it to make it work, and there it is right there after I dug my finger in it, and it's just not worth it. I have other blushes that are similar, so that one needs to go. I have two Essence blushes that I'm just not using. These are both great blushes, very inexpensive. I have Satin Coral and Satin Love. One is a pinkier mauve, one is a coral color, but I just don't reach for them. And then lastly, I have a mini of the Benefit Gold Rush. This one is such a glowy blush. It is almost like a highlight, but it just doesn't give a lot of color payoff for me. And again, it's a neutral color that doesn't look great on me, so I'm passing that one along. Next, we're moving into face palettes. I have this e.l.f. one. This is the Total Face Palette. Y'all, this one I may have actually popped some out of another palette and kind of created what I thought would be a good palette for me. It is really nice. You've got two blushes, which, as you can see from my blush declutter, these are not blush colors that I am going to gravitate towards. They're just not. They don't do anything for me. The bronzer's nice. The highlight, it's very dry. All of the products are kind of dry, and I'm just not reaching for it. It's time to go. Another one that I'm just not ever reaching for is this Tarte Pro Glow palette. It has a cream contour, a powder contour, and kind of four highlights, and I just don't reach for it. I have an e.l.f. blush palette. These are definitely some more colors that I would like, but I just don't find myself reaching for it, so it's time to go. This is kind of shocking. This is the Kevyn Aucoin. This is the Contour Book Volume 2. I have used it a good bit. But I just don't reach for it. The cream shades are really kind of dried out. The powders are still nice, but really the only thing I reach for is this one, and I would like to get that in a single, and I just don't need the whole book. Moving to bronzers, I have two. I have a Too Faced Chocolate Soleil. This one is old and probably just needs to be thrown away. Looks like this. It's a sample size. I have one that is a sample size that is not in this cardboard packaging, so that's why I'm getting rid of that one. And then this is the Bobbi Brown Bronze. This is a shimmer brick. I used the hell out of this, y'all, for the longest time, but I don't reach for it anymore, so it's got to go. I have a powder. This is the Tarte, actually Smooth Operator powder. I decanted the RCMA No Color powder into this, and it is really, it's a great powder, but I just need to pass it on, and I think I'm going to pass it on to a friend because I have the RCMA in a larger size, so this is something that I could pass on to a friend. I have 2 brushes that I recently got in a BoxyCharm that I'm just not using. They are the Moda brushes. It came in a set. That's going to go. Another, this is a skincare item. I know I'm kind of jumping around, but it'll have some more rhyme and reason as we go. This is the Wonder Lift Off Purifying and Brightening Peel Off Mask. Peel off masks do not work for my skin. They highly irritate my skin. Just that friction of getting it to start peeling aggravates my skin, so I'm passing this on to a friend. I have 1 nail polish. This is Zoya. This is in the shade Rue. I just found that I had other shades very similar to this, so that's going to go to Mom. Now, y'all, we are moving into highlighters. Okay, so I have been addicted to cream highlighters lately. So what that means to me is that I probably could have decluttered all of my powder highlighters, but I'm not going to do that because I know I'm going to want powder highlighters probably in a few months. I'm going to swing back around and decide I love powder again. But I did do a very strict declutter of my powder highlights because they were out of control. So now we're going to talk about those. By no means did I get rid of all my Wet n Wild highlights, but these are the ones I did get rid of. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Gold Bar, and this is in the shade Holly Gold. And let me open it, and it looks like this. It's just a really nice, and y'all, these highlighters really are great. It's a very gold highlight. I just find that I have a lot of gold highlights. I have a Becca one, I have the Anastasia one, and I just don't need to have that many. I've got 2 of the Mega Glow highlighting powders. This one is in Precious Petals. It is great. It is kind of a dupe for the Dior one, if you can see it right there. A dupe for some of the Becca ones, which I have all of those, so I decided to get rid of that one. And then this is a lighter one. This is Blossom Glow. I just never find myself reaching for this. It is very frosty, and that's just not really a highlight that I reach for often. The last Wet n Wild one is the Wet n Wild Highlighting Bar. This is in the shade Earth. Looks like this. Again, another gold one that if I'm going to reach for a gold highlight, I have others I'm going to reach for. And I have 6 more. The next one is Model's Own. And y'all, this one really is a beautiful, beautiful highlight. It was very difficult for me to let that go. That's what it looks like. But it's very similar to Becca Parisian Lights, which is one of my all-time favorite highlights. So if I'm going to go for that look, I'm going to reach for the Becca one. Next up is this little small size, the Laura Geller. This is Gilded Honey. Again, another beautiful gold highlight. But if I'm going to put a gold highlight on, I'm reaching for my Becca, either Royal Crown one or Royal Glow. I can't remember the name of it. Or the Anastasia Beverly Hills one. This one has seen better days. I really did love this. This is Makeup Revolution Skin Kiss Highlighter in Peach Kiss. I mean, when are you ever going to get through a highlight that big? That's part of the problem. It's huge. It's gorgeous. It definitely has that very like kind of wet look, but the packaging came apart and it's just too big and it's hard to keep, so I'm passing that on. Next is the Pixie Aspen Ovart. This is really nice, y'all, but it's just a color I don't find myself reaching for. Let's see, let's put it right there. You can see it definitely has that gold tint. Again, there are just other gold highlighters I have, and I wasn't reaching for it. I can safely say there's nothing wrong with any of these highlighters. I just don't reach for them, and that's stupid for me to have so many. This is the e.l.f. Blush Gems. This is supposed to be a dupe for MAC Soft and Gentle. I don't have MAC Soft and Gentle. Never have, and certainly don't need to go buy it. But that is what it looks like right there. Absolutely, positively gorgeous once you know, take off the top layer of this, but it's just one that I'm not reaching for and I don't need. And then lastly, this is the Milani. This is Summer Glow Strobe Light number 7. Again, with the gold highlight. It's right there. It's gold. I just have so many gold highlights, so that one had to go. 2 primers. The first is the Wet n Wild Dewy Luminous Primer. This is a great drugstore luminous primer. My deal is I have so many luminous primers. I just don't need this one too. My mom wears it, so I'm passing that on to her. Lastly, very new to me, the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. Y'all, this was weird. It was so sticky on my skin. Hated it. Gotta go. One concealer. This is the Maybelline Superstay Better Skin. I used to love this concealer, and then I got this one and hated it. So it's going to go. Okay, so I have some little sample sizes of foundations. This is the Dior, I think it's called Face and Body, Dior Backstage, yeah, Face and Body. I have two of them, y'all. They're both so dark. I could not figure out the right shade match to save my life. These are gonna go. This is the Marc Jacobs Shameless. I actually did a video of how I make this foundation work. It is so difficult to make it work. I can make it work. If you have bought this and need to make it work, go look back to my videos and watch that video. But there's just no sense when I have foundations that are so easy and look so good. So that one's gonna go. I love the Vanish by Hourglass. I actually have a full size, so I'm getting rid of the sample. And then I have the Bare Mineral Bare Pro. This was nice, but I just don't find myself reaching for it. And then lastly, the Cover FX. This is a very heavy foundation, and this is not my color, so it's going to be passed along. Okay, for foundations, I'm starting with this. This was a Miss Gold Girl Made Me Do It Mineral Liquid Powder Foundation that I bought off of Amazon. Broad Spectrum SPF 15. Y'all, it's the color Sandy Beige. That's the problem. It was very hard to find a shade match, and y'all, this is not my color. It's very dark, and I mean, look at that. It's just not my color, and there's no way I can make that work. Plus, I don't love the way it feels right there on my hand, so that is going to go. Now, some of these other ones might be very surprising to you. Let's start with the Flower Beauty. I have really enjoyed this foundation. There's just other foundations when I want to look dewy that I like better. For example, the Josie Maran Vibrancy Foundation. Love that one. I like the, I can't think of the name of it, but it's by YSL. I enjoyed that one. I like the Light Wonder by Charlotte Tilbury. I just am finding myself not loving this so much, and I think my mom would like it, so I'm passing that one on to her. Also, another one that I have loved, but I have just found myself not really reaching for it. I'm reaching for other things. This is the Physicians Formula Healthy Skin. My mom loves this, and this is her shade, so I'm passing that on to her. I love this foundation. This is the Milani Perfect and Conceal 2-in-1. This is just not my shade, so it's got to go, but I definitely would repurchase that one for a full coverage foundation. This is the Burt's Bees Goodness Glow Foundation. I just never liked this. The color was not right for me, so I always had to mix it, and I just didn't love it. So it's going to go. This is one of my favorite foundations. This is the LA Girl Pro Matte. This is just not my color. I have a correct one in my color, so I'm passing that on. And this Wet n Wild one. Y'all, I have like 4 of these. And so I went through and pulled this one out, and I was like, let's just get rid of this one because all the colors look so similar, and I was like, I don't need 4, so I'm just passing that one on so somebody else can discover the goodness of this Wet n Wild foundation because it is fantastic. Okay, I hope I don't get any hate for this one, but the Emily The Needs palette is going. And the reason is this. I would keep this if this was all I had, or I had this in like 2 other palettes. I really enjoyed this palette. But for someone like me who has the collection that I have, I just can't keep it because I don't use it. So I hope somebody else will get some use out of that. This Flower Beauty, this is the Golden Natural palette. It is so pretty. If you are in the need of a palette with these type colors, which means if you do not have the Naked original palette, or even I found some similar ones in the Naked Smoky, then go get your hands on this. Save your money. Get your hands on this. It's just as good. I have those other palettes, so I've decided to pass this one on. Y'all, I don't love Marc Jacobs eyeshadow. There, I said it. It burns my eyes. I don't love it. This is the Scandalous palette. I decided to keep it through the winter to see if I used it. I never did. I have other places I can get this color. I just have other places I can get all these colors, so I'm passing that one on. I have this e.l.f. This is kind of an eyeshadow base. It is in the shade Nude Linen. It's nice, but I have other things that I like better for a base for my shadow. Two other palettes. I have the It Naturally Pretty palette, which I wanted to love. It is an all matte palette. I just never reached for it, so it's time to go. This is the Cult Mania by Bad Habit. It is the dupe for the Pat McGrath palette that I have. So I just don't think I need both. So I'm getting rid of that one. This NYX Control Freak Brow Gel feels like nothing on my brows, so I'm getting rid of that. This e.l.f. is gorgeous, and I'm hoping my mom will take this because it really is pretty on your eyelids. I just have other ones like this. I think I have Stila Kitten. This is a great dupe for Stila Kitten, and I just decided to keep the Stila one, but this one is really pretty. This one is in the shade Rose Gold. Really, really nice. I have this ColourPop in Puppy Love. This is a Super Shock Shadow. Y'all, it's kind of started to dry out. So, yeah, I decided to just throw that out. Y'all, I have two. Bobbi Brown doesn't even come like this anymore, okay? Y'all, these are from when I was in college. Gunmetal and Sterling. Those are going in the trash because that's how old they are. Two MAC pigments that I never reach for. Both of these are matte, and one is deep brown and one is lithe. I just don't really reach for a whole lot of pigments, loose pigments. I find them to be messy. And lastly, this is the Prestige Total Intensity eyeshadow. What color is this? Hocus Pocus, y'all. I loved this, but I just don't ever reach for it. It is a duo chrome. Let me look at that. That is so pretty. I actually have this color though in I believe another type formula. So yeah, I'm passing this on. Y'all, lipstick is hard for me to get rid of. Lip gloss is even harder because I love it so much, but I just can't use all this. The first one I have is just a small sample size of Laura Mercier, and this is in Sparkling, and it just looks, let's do it right here, like that. I don't love the formula. I find Laura Mercier lip glosses to be too sticky, in my opinion. Next, I have these two Hourglass. Okay, I clearly was in love with Coral. One is sheer and one isn't. This first one is Nectar, and I'm going to, I believe Nectar is the sheer one, which is nice, but again, I don't love the formula of this lip gloss, and I have another color just like it by Pat McGrath that I'm obsessed with, and this one is Muse, and this one you can see is not sheer. It is like a glossy, intense color, which I don't know why I bought because I don't like that formula at all. This is a Wet n Wild clear gloss. I just don't find myself reaching for it. This is a long-lasting liquid lipstick by Ofra. I got this in a BoxyCharm. This is in the shade Monaco. I've never opened it and I'm not going to. This also I got in a BoxyCharm. This is by Adis. High definition liquid lipstick. I don't even know the name of the color, but as you know, I don't like liquid lipsticks. I had one Jouer liquid lipstick left. This is in Praline. I just hate liquid lipsticks, so I feel like I don't need to talk about it. This is a lip topper by Jouer in Saint Tropez. Just don't find myself reaching for that. This is an intense butter gloss in Tres Leche. I just don't love a matte or like a real opaque gloss. I like a gloss to be sheer. This is one of the Sephora lip plumpers in 01. It's kind of a clear color. It's nice, but I just don't find myself reaching for it. This is Topaz by Revlon. I don't love the brush, but it's a really nice gloss, and I used it a good bit, but it's just time to go. I have two of these iridescent buxoms, and the main reason I'm getting rid of these is I don't like that brush. It is a brush, and look how funny it is. It's like, it's hard to get it on. It's like all messed up. So I just don't love the application of these. And so I have two of those. Beautiful colors, but application yeah, they're iridescent. They're really pretty, but the application leaves a lot to be desired. So those are the glosses and the liquid lipsticks that I'm getting rid of. Now we're going to move into lipsticks. So here are all the lipsticks, and they're kind of trying to go away, move away. I tried again, and I knew better, but I did it because I saw Drew Barrymore wearing this on an interview on YouTube, and I thought it looked great. I do not like Flower Beauty lipsticks at all. This is one of the mix and matte ones. This one is Tickled Pink. It is such a pretty color, but I don't like the smell of it, and I don't really like the way it feels on my lips, and I never use this side. So that one is going to go. Another Flower Beauty I have is this Naked Blush Matte. Again, it's just, I don't love the formula of the lipsticks. I have this Buxom and Guilty Angel. Basically, I just decided that this color looked horrible on me. And it's just kind of a peachy, pinky, but it's like it's too light, too bright at that light of a shade. I don't know, but that one's got to go. I have one of the Shine lipsticks. This is Glossy Fawn. I just found myself not reaching for this. It's really, really pretty though, and I hope somebody will get it. Actually, I think I'm going to pull it out for my friend Nikki because that is totally her. I have this Milani Catwalk Pink, y'all. This is a Barbie pink if I have ever seen one. Love it, but I just have some other pinks that I like better, so I'm passing that one on. I have a Wet n Wild. I don't like the formula of this style Wet n Wild. This is Bare It All. It's just a nude, but it's so incredibly drying, and I just don't like that. I have another one. This one is in the shade Never Nude. Again, it's so thick and drying. Don't like that. I have In the Flesh. That's how it looks. I have Cinnamon Spice, which is much darker, but it's just so thick. I have, this is a different kind. Actually, let's stick with the same kind. This one is Wine Room. Such a thick lipstick. Then this is a different kind of formula. This is Blind Date. I just found myself not reaching for that color. So, time to pass it on. If I'm not reaching for it, get rid of it because I have so many lipsticks. This is what Kim Kardashian apparently wore on her wedding day. It is L'Oreal 601 Nude Ballet. It's like an opaque kind of gloss, and I just don't reach for it. So, if you can see it, it's right there. This is a recent purchase. It is a L'Oreal lipstick in 825 Bronzine. Love this color, but it is the same exact color as my, it doesn't look like it in the container, but when you swatch it, it's the same color as my Lancome Amande Sucre. So, and which makes sense because L'Oreal and Lancome, you know, L'Oreal owns Lancome, I think. So yeah, gorgeous, but I don't need both colors. I have MAC Aloof. This was just kind of a nothing color on me. Made me look a little bit dead, so I'm going to pass that on. Another color that made me look a little bit dead is Dotson's Nude 600 by L'Oreal. Let's see, it looks like that. Can't even really see it. And then lastly, it's going to be shocking to all, Velvet Teddy by MAC. The reason I'm getting rid of this is because I wore it during trial, and it's so thick. Like, it makes my lips feel crusty, and I just hate that. So yes, so that is my declutter. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider giving me a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. I would love to have you back here on a regular basis. And as always, I hope this video finds you having a fantastic day and a great week, and I will see you all soon. Bye, y'all.